If you're looking for the best sports memorabilia and card break room on the internet, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Ultimate Autographs Live Break Room. Tonight's action will move fast, so we want to prep you for what you're about to see on your screen. First, the all-important dice roll number. At the top of the show, the host will randomize a series of numbers. The number selected from the randomizer will become the dice roll number for the entire show. Meaning every mystery box that is broken, the names of every collector will be placed on a list and randomized using the dice roll number for the show. Next, you see this black ticker down here? This shows you which numbers are still available in each and every Ultimate Autographs mystery box series. When a break fills or sells out, the host will ask for a number. This is where you make your selection from. Simply type a number in the chat, and the host will pick the first number they see. Throughout the show, you may see two different types of breaks: divisional and top spot. Divisional breaks are most common. In this format, all 8 individuals who enter a football-themed break will be positioned next to one of 8 football divisions after their names are randomized using the show's dice roll number. When the mystery box is opened, the football division of the team represented in that mystery box becomes the winning division. The lucky collector whose name is randomly placed next to that football division takes home the signed piece of authenticated memorabilia. Our top spot format is typically reserved for giveaways, college-themed series, and non-football breaks. In a top spot break, all names are added to a list. They are randomized using the show's dice roll number. At the end of the randomization, the name at the top becomes the winner of the signed item or prize. Breaking sports memorabilia has never been easier or more fun than it is in Ultimate Autographs Live Break Room. Remember, every mystery box series you see on the show can also be purchased as a personal mystery box that is either shipped directly to your home for you to open, or you can request to have it opened on a future Ultimate Autographs Live Breaks broadcast. Also, while you're waiting for your break to fill, we encourage you to look around ultimateautographs.com to see if you find a piece of memorabilia you love and want to add to your collection. And don't forget, every live break spot you purchase automatically earns you 6% back in UA cash that you can later exchange for a mystery box or a signed item of your choosing. All right, the time has come. Let's break some certified, authentic sports memorabilia in Ultimate Autographs Live Break Room. Tell them, boys.
All right, welcome to Ultimate Autographs Live Break Room, everybody. Common here with Dave. We're looking forward to an exciting Wednesday afternoon. We'll be flexing coming up. We got one break filled up, the Flex On 'em series. We have a new series on the website as well, Dave. It's going to be a really good one. That's Platinum Helmet Series.
Good one.
Fly Eagles Fly.
Yes, sir.
So got a great list of headliners there. Check that out on the website. We're also we've got a double box break for the fantasy football and mini. Last one for that series, and we have another mini series that I think went up last night first. So
we've got that wooden crate one, and then we also, once we get through this fantasy footballer one, we have a backup black box ready to go for tonight. So if we sell out that one, we're already good to go for more minis tonight.
Alrighty, let's go. Hopefully we sell them out this show. Maybe people will hop in and we'll create some fire. We will get started with our dice roller here. We need 6 or higher to play.
You know
4,
the rules.
Not quite. 4 again. Third time's the charm. 6.
That'll do.
So 6 will be our dice roll for today.
That will do, Common.
So I wanted to ask you, any football games you're looking forward to this weekend, Dave? Anything in particular really stick out for you?
Oh, yeah. We got a couple. As a Bears fan, I always look forward to the Bears-Packers. Can't lie. That's going to be... I will be glued to the TV for that one. Noon Sunday. Doesn't get any more classic October than that.
And the Bears are hosting at home.
The Bears
defense seemed to wake up against the Raiders.
Yup.
They'll need to do more of that. Legit Fantasy Sports says, Dave, I left you a message. Party on.
Sweet, man. I'll check it out.
Welcome, Legit Fantasy Sports.
I believe that is Michael Lepre. I always have a hard time with those usernames. But I got you, Mike.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and spin our wheel to take a look at what our chase of the day is. So
Love
here
it.
we go.
Let's get a good one, Common.
Let's get a good one. That was our little music there. Nice. And it's going to be close. What do we got? The Wheel of Winning.
There we go.
How
I'm glad
about
it wasn't
that?
that fancy footballers with only one of them left.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess we would have just done another one. But
We probably would have. But you know what? Love to see it. So
yeah, let's go.
that's a series that I've been wanting to play. We haven't gotten a chance to really see the puzzle in that series. But
I have not even opened up one of those boxes.
Neither
yet.
have I. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Robbie, how you doing, man? Don's working on some other stuff behind the scenes today. He's looking
Busy man.
I actually don't even know what he's working on. I think something to do with slabs. I think.
Yeah, we have some great slab series coming up for sure.
But yeah, Donnie's gone for the day. Not gone, but he's not on the show today. But he'll
I'll
be back
have-
tomorrow.
I'll have to do the
Common
only
will
true
do just
for
fine.
2-1. So alrighty, well let's get into our first break here. Let's
do
take
it.
a look. James Capel, Richard Adcock, Christopher Hannon, Eddie Wild, Chris Gibbs. If you guys are in here, please give us a box number for Flex on 'em number 1. Bob says we finally got a Wheel of W puzzle last night. 25 UA cash was spun
There we go.
and won. Love to hear it, Bob.
Sweet.
Bob, welcome to the room. Glad you're here. Thought he was on watch because our White Sox lost. Yeah, that was tough. Dave, what number is Peyton in on Monday Night Minis? LOL asks Katrina.
Katrina, there's only one way to find out that. You know.
You got to play.
We gotta
Play the game. Katrina, I'm sorry for that Monday night game for you and your husband. That was
was
a
crazy.
heartbreaker.
That was crazy.
Absolute heartbreaker. Hope you guys are hanging in there.
Do they have a bye this week, it looks like, those Colts? No, they don't.
They
got the
don't,
Texans.
no.
All right, they got a nice little tune-up game. Bounce back. They'll be just fine.
I haven't seen Chop or James Capel in the chat, guys. Richard, if you're here. Christopher, if you're here. Eddie or Chris Gibbs, if any of you are here. Last call for a box number on Flex number 1. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and randomize the box number. But I will go ahead and throw you guys into your divisions. My luck it will go on as an unopened personal, says Katrina.
Could be your unopened personal.
We'll see.
Who knows?
It could be
Who
you.
knows? No, that's a really fun series. I really like that one. Donnie knocked it out of the park. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Drew Brees.
If you like quarterbacks, that's a good one.
If you like legendary quarterbacks.
Let me redo that one again. Our spin is 6.
Dylan, I traded a replica mini and got a Lawrence Taylor jersey. All right, yeah. Dylan, I know that Donnie was working on that this morning, wrapping up from yesterday. If that UA cash is not on your account by now, it will be on your account by the end of the day. We'll get that all taken care of. That was from last night. So yeah, it'll be. Usually we like to allow at least 24 hours for UA cash. We try to get up as soon as possible, but it'll be up there by the end of the day today if it's not up there already.
Let's go. Jakeem says, I hate baseball. You hate sports. That's what happens when the team loses. Jakeem, that is me. It's common. I'm here.
That's actually Jake, not Jakeem.
Jakeem. Jake M.
How you doing, Jake?
Jakeem, let's go. Guys, as you see up here, we've got our list randomized up top. Eddie's up top, followed by Christopher, James, Richard, Chris, and James. I will go ahead and take that randomizer off the screen for you. Paste in your divisions. Eddie in the NFC North. Christopher in the NFC South. NFC East and West is James Capel. Richard Adcock out in the AFC North. James in the AFC South. Chris in the AFC East. And James in the AFC West. Jake M. This is common. We are going to go ahead and randomize those box numbers because where in the world is Chop? Where in the world is James? We don't know where they are. So we are going to go ahead and random up our box numbers. Let's take a look at what we got for that one in the ticker. I can't figure out which UA cash I'm missing, says Katrina. Common, when you randomize too many, the go back button does not go back to what it was at the correct row. You have to rewind the feed and pause on it to see. You know what, Matt? I'm going to go ahead and randomize one more time anyways for you. So sorry if I clicked one extra time for you there because no one's here. And we got one box break to go. So I'll give Eddie, Chris, James, Richard, and company another chance to get a box number. So I'm going to go ahead and random up 6 times again, guys. I accidentally got too click happy and I did 7. And I went back and apparently it's not on the same one it was. So we'll do this one more time for everyone to take a look. And what was our dice roll was Our dice roll was 6.
6?
Yep, just making sure.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So now it's going to be James Capel up top, Richard, Christopher, Eddie, James, Chris, and James again. So thank you, Matt Menard. You are the expert. You know what's going on, my friend. Take that list randomizer off the screen.
And Common, I'll just go grab a box number for you. We don't have to randomize them. If they don't want to call one out, I'll just grab one.
Sure.
Thanks for the flex on them.
Flex on them. Let's keep it simple.
We have 22 in here. I hope so. No 22.
I can tell you, let me pull up the numbers.
We do have 22.
Yeah, we
Dang.
have 22. I was pretty thorough in checking those. 22 is your favorite number?
Absolutely.
Awesome. 23 is my second favorite for MJ. 8 is my favorite number. The other night, I was telling folks to pick box number 8 or to bring them luck. And guess what? They pulled an authentic Dak Prescott.
Wow.
So that was not bad.
Wow, there we go. I love that. You always got to ride your favorite numbers.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, I don't know if you're in here, James, Richard, Christopher, or Eddie, but we are going to go ahead and see what we got in here. We're flexing. This is my favorite series name. Granted, I've only been here for 1 month, but we have not come up with a better series name than Flex on him.
This is a killer series.
Let's go.
This one's been good.
This has been a good one. So we got a beautiful, authentic helmet here. Let's take a look. What's in the box? Okay. I just picked this guy up in fantasy. A lot of potential for this young receiver. How about Cortland Sutton?
Nice.
Of the Denver Broncos.
I'd say he's past potential. I think he's a pretty talented young guy. I think he could be the cornerstone of that offense. Him and Jerry Jeudy, if they could find a quarterback to get him the ball consistently.
Yeah, Teddy,
high-powering offense.
Teddy Bridgewater isn't quite cutting it. My guy Drew Lock, my Mizzou fellow, has struggled with the interceptions. I think they're eventually going to have a new quarterback over there with the Broncos. That's the AFC West. Not a surprise. James Capel.
There you go, James.
Nice hit, James. Not sure if you're a chopper in here, but nice hit. Sutton helmet.
Sweet. I could see the Broncos being heavily involved in free agency after this season for a quarterback.
I think so too.
Whether it's Aaron Rodgers, maybe a younger guy.
Maybe Tua. Tua's got issues in Miami.
Tua could be a potential. Who knows what the Deshaun Watson situation is going to look like? But I'm thinking that they're going to have. I don't think they're going to go to a draft for one. I think they're going to go to free agency for a quarterback.
Well, you remember they went for free agency and got a certain Mr. Peyton Manning a few years back.
Did, and it worked out extremely well for them.
He set the touchdown record. He won me my fantasy football league. It was good times for me, at least.
That was awesome.
That was awesome times. Let's take a look at what we got. Question of the day, Jake says, was Separate Ways by Journey the greatest love ballad of the 80s? Jake, I'm sorry, I have no idea what that question was. I don't know who that band is, but I will say yes, just because.
I know Journey, but I don't know if I know that song. So I don't know if I could say that it's the single greatest ballad of all time.
Jake is upset. I'm sorry.
Jake.
I'm sorry if I upset you, Jake. What with multiple question marks? Captain James Tiberius Kirk finally completed his 5-year mission this morning, says Bob. Okay. I don't know what Bob's talking about either. I do know Journey. It's a great band. I just know certain songs. I don't recognize that song. I do know the band Journey, but I couldn't sing that song for you right now. Maybe Dave can sing it, but I don't know.
Common, if there's one thing I'm not, it's a singer.
Neither am I. Bob says William Shatner. Okay. Well, I'm here to learn new things. So I'm going to go ahead after the show. I'm going to hop on and learn all about that song because I'm excited. Nothing like a good love ballad.
You'll have Common crying on his lunch.
That's right. You know what, Jake? This is probably going to embarrass me, but guess what song I like? And I was telling my girlfriend about it. She didn't seem to like the song, and maybe I'll be judged on here, but I like good old My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. That is a wonderful,
a classic.
Wonderful
Who
song.
doesn't love Celine? Oh my goodness. Celine.
Jake says, I believe it's PG. It can be played on the stream. Oh, I don't know. Bob says, Shatner went into space this morning at 90 years of age. That is incredible. Wow. That is incredible. We had some William Shatner in our UA Swag series, Dave.
Did we?
We did,
That's pretty cool. Okay.
We have a couple new orders coming in here. That's Dylan, Charles, and Ryan. Welcome to the party, guys. Let's go.
All right, Common. We got a Monday Night Crew ready for you.
Excellent.
There you are. Steve-O.
Steve, here you go, my friend.
How you doing? Right.
First order of the day.
Yes, sir. Just checking in on you.
Alrighty, so guys, we got Monday Night Crew number 1. That's Robert, Michael, Cody, Dylan, and Ryan. If you guys want to give us a box number for that one. And we are doing that one as a single break, right, Dave?
For what's that? Monday Night Crew?
Monday Night Crew.
That is... Let me just double check here real quick. I believe that's actually a double.
It is a double, because I know we tend to do our mini helmets as doubles.
So that's it. This one's a double. I know we were going in standard, so we do need 2 box numbers here. It's 48 a spot, but what I'm going to do is knock that down to 24 moving forward, so it'll be single box breaks for Monday Night Crew moving forward.
And we already got the numbers. Nice. 17 and 13, says Ryan Murphy. I will go ahead and random you guys up for those divisions. Going with the odd numbers. Lucky number 13. So that's Robert Myers, Michael Lepre, Cody Myers, Dylan Joseph, and Ryan Murphy. We're going to random you guys up 6 times. Let's not get too click happy here. Common 5 and 6. There we go. We got Michael up top, followed by Dylan, Cody, Ryan, Robert, and then Dylan again at the bottom. Paste you folks into your divisions. So Michael's in the NFC North, Dylan in the NFC South and East, Cody out in the NFC West, Dylan also has the AFC North, Ryan with the AFC South, Robert with the AFC East, and Dylan in the AFC West. Dylan says 13 got me an auto Chris Johnson helmet last night. Roll with the lucky number 13. I see what he's doing there.
There we go.
All right, you want me to get those, Dave? I will go ahead and get
please.
those. Monday Night Crew 13 and 17. All right, here we go. 13 and 17. I'm going to take those off the ticker. Try to do that first thing so I don't forget.
It's easy to forget that.
It is very easy to forget the ticker. 13 and 17 are gone off the ticker, and I'm going to put in, we've got 27 and 28 in here. So I'll put those in there for you guys. Monday Night Crew.
And the fantasy football, and those are our last 2 minis. Is that correct?
That is correct. Matt Menard says there's only one. Might as well close it. Matt, I like the way you think.
Sweet.
I like the way you think.
All right, so I will not post another one of those.
Did Katrina have a personal tonight, Dave? She says if Peyton is in one of those, refund my personal. LOL, just kidding. Katrina will try. You know what Katrina tried to do the other day, Dave?
What's that?
She wanted to be adopted by James Capel. She got shut down there. We'll shut her down again.
I don't even know. Can you be adopted after you turn 18?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to it.
I'm assuming that Katrina is older than 18 years old.
I think so. She has a 7-year-old son. We found out. So I'm pretty sure we're safe on that one. Alrighty, guys. First mini helmet. We got a beautiful Eclipse.
Monday Night Crew.
TJ Hawkinson,
nice.
Lions tight end. We know the Lions aren't great, but TJ Hawkinson, I know Kenny Golladay left the team. He is pretty much their best target. Jared Goff has gone to him early in the season. I think he's going to go to him plenty more. And just look at this light blue signature there. Just a thing of beauty. NFC North, Michael. Nice hit, Michael.
It's a nice hit.
Very nice hit.
Hey, Katrina, what box number did you want for that personal? I'll put that in there. You can choose any of them that are available. I know you know the rules.
She knows the rules. Don't worry, folks. We got one more here since we do have a double box break here. So
a break so nice we broke it twice.
That's right. I love it. 7082 Hawkinson Mini. Very nice hit, Michael. Yeah, I love this light blue signature. That's one of my favorite signatures in my month that I've been in here in the UA Live break room. Wonderful. Yeah, these mini helmets are really nice. Like,
It's probably my favorite, just
like
subcategory of memorabilia.
Sure. Like when I came in here, I was like, why have a mini helmet when you can have a big helmet? But it just adds a nice touch. There's so many different places you can put it.
That is the biggest thing with minis, I think, is they're a heck of a lot easier to display than a full size. It takes full size helmets take up a lot of space.
Yeah, Katrina and Nick say that she also has an 18-year-old daughter. So yes, she's much older than 18.
Checks out.
Checks out. Good to know. Yeah, the human reproductive system only works in certain ways. And I'll quit talking while I'm ahead. Monday Night Crew, box number 17, our second mini box here. Katrina, you can breathe easily. There's no Peyton Manning in here. We do have a Kyle Juszczyk.
The juice.
49ers fullback. Got himself a touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs 2 years ago. He's just a typical fullback. He looks like a fullback. He plays like a fullback.
He acts like a fullback.
He acts like a fullback. That's the NFC West. Cody Myers. Nice hit, Cody.
Nice hit, Cody. Man, they love that guy. In
Yeah,
San
he's
Fran.
he's awesome.
They love
Got
him.
you here.
There's something
Oh, you
fun
can take it. Go ahead.
about an
I
entire
forgot to put the sticker
stadium.
on the other one. I'll get him for you going forward.
That one's already shipped, so.
Okay, perfect. Katrina says, slap. But do 17 and 18-year-olds like the Colts? They have to like the Colts, Bob. Otherwise, they're in trouble.
Grounded.
Grounded. So Cody Myers. Wonderful hit, Cody. Yeah, Kyle Juszczyk is one of the few fullbacks. I feel like not that many fullbacks are utilized anymore, and that speaks to how good he is as a player, that they want to utilize him, you know?
Yeah. Speaks to his talent, speaks to the 49ers' commitment to the run, which I feel like even in 100 years, when the NFL is all passing, the 49ers are still going to be just running the ball.
Yeah,
They love to.
They've had some good running backs over the years. Frank Gore played there forever, man.
I think their devotion to the run speaks to their offensive line consistency. They plug anybody and everybody in. They always have a running back injured, and yet somehow they're still putting up 25, 30 carries a game. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's when you have a good offensive line and when you have tradition, it's easier. But the 49ers have a great tradition also passing the ball back in the days with Joe
true.
Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice. We pulled multiple Jerry Rices in the UA Live break room in the last week. Probably the greatest receiver of all time. You probably agree, Dave? Or are you more of
100%.
a modern guy? Randy Moss gets the talent. Calvin Johnson.
It's Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
It's Jerry Rice.
I agree.
It's undisputed as of right now. I will say, though, a little history happened this weekend. DeAndre Hopkins passed Larry Fitzgerald for the most catches before the age of 30.
We talked about this, I think, in the show the other day, but I think DeAndre Hopkins, granted, I think Devontae Adams is incredible. I think Tyreek Hill's really good, Stephon Diggs. But right now, if I had to pick one receiver, I know Bob likes DK Metcalf, but Bob, I'm going DeAndre Hopkins. Best receiver in the game right now. The speed, the size, the athleticism.
He does
He's incredible.
Like, all those guys that you just mentioned might be a percentage better at one of those things, but he does everything. Where
full
all
package.
those guys have a little something that they might not be able to do as well, where DeAndre, he has contested catches, route running, speed, size, catch, like everything. He can do it all. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, he is something else.
I will say, for anybody to pass Jerry Rice on the all-time list, I think it's going to come down to longevity. Like, it's not a skill thing. Because he had an incredible skill, but he did it for, what was it, 15 years?
Think about this, though, Dave. This may have a factor in it. Think about the fact that the passing games are bigger now, and we got that extra 17th game. So I think it's possible someone breaks it. It'll be hard But I also got to figure in the modern medicine these guys get. Players are playing longer than ever right now. So my best guess is that record does get broken, but it's going to be tough. You know which record won't be broken? Emmitt Smith's rushing record, because they don't run the ball these days. Derrick Henry's the only guy who can touch him.
You don't think that someone's going to rush for 2,100 yards in a season?
No, for a career. Emmitt Smith's career record.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. With 17 games, that's a great point. I think that, Derrick Henry's on pace for like 2,150 right now on the season. But I agree. I think the career one's going to be tough. Jerry Rice played for 20 years.
That's incredible.
And he was relevant for
probably 15 of them.
19. I'll give it 18 because he was injured one year. He was relevant for 18 of those seasons. He had 800 receiving yards.
Yeah.
That's going to be so incredibly difficult to beat.
Absolutely. Let's do Katrina's. I got that one fixed in there. But Katrina's
40.
Monday Night Crew, Box 40. I don't know if Box 40 is in here. I know
I'll go grab it, though.
That one's not on the ticker.
For personals, you can grab whichever one you want.
Awesome. So Dave will go ahead and get you set up with number 30. Monday Night Crew. No 28 doubles now. We got 29 instead, guys. Dave is going and getting Katrina's personal. Katrina, Jonathan Taylor looks pretty good for the Colts. I'll tell you this. They have quarterback issues, but I think they've got themselves a really solid running back. And the Colts have had a lot of really good running backs over the years. Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, briefly. That's what I'm looking at. And I used to be a Colts fan with Peyton Manning. So if someone pulls a Peyton Manning, I'll be jealous as well. Dave is out there searching for number 40. It's somewhere. Yeah, the Colts this week, they play the Texans, so maybe they get themselves a win in that one. A couple other interesting
I like the maybe
games.
that you put in front
Maybe.
of that.
Yeah, they've got issues. But the Chargers-Ravens game, I think, is going to be great. What do you guys think? Bob says it's 59 rushing yards, a real good game. I think it's 60 rushing yards over a 60-game season to get to 1,000. So I'd say it's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Nick says it's between 39 and 41. That is correct. 40 is between 39 and 40. Unless you believe in, well, I guess that's still in between there. I was going to say Harry Potter's got their platforms 9 3/4, but I don't. Bob says 59 rush yards is not a great game. It's not a bad game. You want to talk about rushing? Here's a great rusher, Dave.
Who we got?
One of the all-time great rushers. And you were talking about 49er players with longevity. Jerry Rice is one. Frank Gore is another.
The tank.
Frank Gore, you might look up how many seasons he played. I bet it's pretty close to 20 as well. I
believe it's 19.
I think he's a free agent right now. He's what, 4th in the all-time rushing yards list or 3rd?
I believe it's 4th.
4th.
I think you are correct.
Wow.
He played 2005 was his rookie, so yeah, 1, 2.
Frank Gore mini. That's an eclipse. Look at that signature. His signature is beautiful. His son right now playing in college football. Maybe he wants to play with dad in the NFL. That would be something.
Awesome. On the same team or something like that, that would be pretty cool.
Nick says she has 2 of that now. Well, he was a Colts player too, so smiley face Katrina. Katrina, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I think he was briefly. He's been on so many teams.
He was a Colts player for 2 seasons, 3.
Yeah?
I didn't know that.
I did know that, but it didn't, the first thing in my head was longevity running back, and we're talking about the Colts, and it escaped me, but when she said it, I was like, oh, that's right. So.
Frank Gore, nice hit, Katrina.
That is a nice hit.
Nice hit. On the Eclipse, too?
On the Eclipse. It is beautiful. She still wants the Peyton, though. We'll keep playing,
I can't
Katrina.
blame her.
Keep playing. Peyton Manning.
We do not see his name too often.
I'm not trying to suck up to you, Katrina, but I'll tell you this. Peyton Manning was my favorite player growing up, along with Kurt Warner. My first 2 quarterbacks I loved, and then pretty much every Bears player. So I was a Peyton Manning fan. And when the Colts got rid of him, I became a Broncos fan. That's how much I love Peyton Manning. I think if he had Bill Belichick and those Patriots defenses played on the same teams as Tom Brady, I think Peyton Manning has just as many rings as Mr. Brady. It's a team game, Dave. I know everyone loves Tom Brady, but
yeah,
dude has been in some great situations.
Yeah, I would be hard to argue that. I won't lie. If I could say one thing against that, which I'm having a hard time. I would say that Tom Brady has a little bit more of a clutch gene than Peyton Manning.
That's
I
fair.
think there's something to be said about that in playoff football.
I might agree with
you just
that.
gotta roll up the sleeves and get her done.
And that's what I say. I say Peyton Manning to me is the greatest regular season quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady might get a slight edge to that, but I do think that Peyton Manning for many years played with bad defenses. He played with bad running games. You saw what happened in 2005 when he had a running game and a defense. He won the Super Bowl. So
unfortunately,
I don't want to make unfortunately against the Bears. I don't want to make excuses for him, but I think he wasn't put in the same situations to succeed in the playoffs. Because I think in the playoffs it's a whole different game. Like the teams are really, really good, and he went up against some incredible Patriots defenses. Ty Law, I think, picked him off a few times.
Ty Law was awesome. I was a big.
Bob says younger people nowadays are fans of players. Older knuckleheads like me are fans of teams.
Hey,
Nick, I am
no los dos.
Okay, Nick, I am a fan of Peyton Manning, not a Colts fan. I agree. I personally, Dave, and maybe you feel the same way, maybe you don't, but I think you can be a fan of an athlete and you can then become a fan of the new team they go to. Like Kirk Cousins goes somewhere else, are you going to be a fan of that team? You can be honest with me. You can
I'll
disagree.
be completely honest. I'm not a Vikings fan. I
Okay.
do not want to see the Vikings succeed. But I want to see Kirk succeed much more than I want to see the Vikings,
Sure.
for lack of a better word, fail.
Right.
I think that there's nothing wrong with being a fan of players. Not even slightly. I mean, like you just said, I've got plenty of players that I'm a huge fan of.
And for the record, I'm a diehard Chicago fan. I never abandoned my Chicago teams. That's what I grew up watching. I lived 6 years in Missouri. I know some people now know I'm a Chiefs fan. Well, I lived 6 years in Missouri, so I think I've earned the right to be a Chiefs fan. So I don't abandon my teams, but these days, sports are different, Bob. You say younger people nowadays are fans of players. I'm fans of teams. Well, players didn't used to trade teams back in the day.
I was going to say, there's a lot more movement.
There's a lot more free
agency. Players are having a little bit more of a voice as to where they play. I mean, just think 20 years ago, you wouldn't see the Le'Veon Bell saga.
Sure.
Or even the Peyton saga was kind of interesting, where he was a career franchise quarterback and...
I mean, you had guys like Karl Malone and John Stockton played forever with the Jazz. Malone, of course, did go on the Lakers later in his career, but that's what it used to be in all sports. You played on the team you were on, and that's what it was.
So, another good example, the Cubs and Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant. I watched the Giants game last night.
Sure.
I wasn't cheering. I couldn't have cared less who won the Giants-Dodgers game, but I was cheering for Chris Bryant to do well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with liking your players and wanting them to succeed personally.
Sure.
But I will say, there is a difference between, if I became a diehard Vikings fan.
Sure.
That's a little questionable for me, honestly, especially as a Bears fan. There's a difference there. There's a difference.
And there's a rivalry. Unitas went to the Chargers, says Knicks. Are Bostonian Bucks fans all of a sudden? I doubt it. So I can tell you this, Matt Menard. I have a friend who is a diehard Tom Brady fan, and he used to rep the Patriots, and now he reps the Bucks. But he's not from Boston, so there's that.
Ooh.
But here's where I take issue, and I can agree with you guys. If you're a fan of a team and you abandon the team because the players are gone, then that's a problem. I'm not abandoning the Bears because Urlacher's gone, all these other guys are gone. All I'm saying is that I'm a fan of many athletes, many teams, and when a player I like goes on a team, I'm naturally going to cheer for that team. If I like Peyton Manning, he goes to the Broncos, I want Peyton Manning to succeed. So I'm not claiming I'm a Colts fan. I was a Peyton Manning fan, and while he was on their team, I cheered for them by association. How are we looking on the site, Dave?
Did we do that fantasy football in one that was filled up?
We did not do that one, did we? Which one did we do? We did do it.
I don't think we did.
We didn't do it. Fantasy football in one. We did not do Matt Menard says, can I abandon the Lions yet? Matt, you cannot abandon the Lions. Oh, these are the last 2 box numbers, actually, so
Yes,
no
sir.
box numbers needed.
Yes, sir. And that's the last of the last for the fantasy footballers. But like I said, no need to fret. We've got our backup Black Box miniseries built, good to go, all that good stuff. So that will be on tonight. More minis coming your way.
Legit fantasy sports. You guys have no idea how bad New England fans are. They root for Brady over the Pats. It's stupid. Yeah, I don't root for certain guys over my teams. Like if
So one thing I'll say about that is I do have to at least give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt to those Pats fans. With this specific instance,
it's a
Tom
different
Brady
player, sure.
was their franchise. Like, we can't really mince words any other way about that. So I see where they're coming from. It's tough to completely abandon the Patriots, especially after, it literally has been one season.
Sure.
But when you're franchise, you're truly, he has more Super Bowls than that franchise, and he has all of theirs.
them. He has all of them.
He is that franchise.
Sure.
So I
Absolutely.
do understand the appreciation that those fans might have for him.
Here's a look at our list, guys. Matt Menard up top, as you see. Dylan Joseph, Cody Myers, Matt Menard, Michael LaPlante, Charles G, Amy Hobbs, Matt Menard. I will take that off the list randomizer and paste it into our divisions. Good luck, guys. Again, this is our final fantasy footballing mini box break, a double box break. So we only have 2 numbers left. So no need for numbers. Dave went ahead and got the last one. Taking a look at the divisions, Matt Menard in the NFC North, Dylan Joseph out in the NFC South, Cody Myers in the East, Matt Menard in the NFC West, Michael in the AFC North, Charles in the AFC South, Amy in the AFC East, and Matt Menard in the AFC West. They treat it like it's Bill versus Tom. That's all they talk about. Oh, give me a break. Try being a Giants fan. Horrible fans. I love this. Hidden Barry Sanders in here. I sense it. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Let's see if your senses come true. Barry Sanders, Matt Menard, correct me if you disagree. The greatest Detroit athlete of all time? I guess, we had some great Detroit hockey players I can think of, but...
We're talking strictly football.
Strictly football.
I don't think there's anybody that's even in that conversation.
No one else is even in the
The
conversation.
only other person I could even consider would be Calvin Johnson.
And he didn't have... Well, neither guy actually had that many seasons.
Both retired pretty early.
Both retired pretty early.
And it's funny, I actually heard an interview with Calvin Johnson. He was on Part of My Take a little bit ago. And apparently he and Barry are very good friends.
Okay.
And they like to get together and reminisce about their struggles in Detroit. It's kind of funny. Where they were both in very similar situations, and it's pretty funny.
All right, Katrina and Nick, cover your eyes. You don't want to see this one.
Uh-oh.
It's not that good.
What do we got?
But they still want this guy. Rodrigo Blankenship.
Oh.
The Colts kicker.
What do you mean, not that good, Common?
It's pretty good.
Goggles.
It wasn't Peyton Manning though. That's all I'm saying.
Let's go.
He was the college kicker of the year at Georgia, one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL. I know he missed. Well, he got one blocked on Monday Night Football.
He was also working with a little injury there, I
He
believe.
certainly was.
I love that.
That's a nice hit. That's the AFC South, and that's Charles.
There you go, Charles.
Nice hit, Charles.
That's a sweet hit. I love goggles.
And by the way, I think that's a phenomenal hit. I just compared to Peyton Manning.
I
would take my Peyton Manning over Blankenship, but that's still a great hit.
4 eyes, full heart. Can't lose.
Can't lose. You like that show, Friday Night Lights?
Love it.
That was an incredible show. I think
Absolutely love it.
I think it doesn't get enough respect because of how good the movie was.
I agree.
But I think the show was really, really good. That's one of my favorite sports shows. Do you have a favorite sports show ever, Dave?
Probably that.
That probably is it.
Friday Night Lights. So I watched the series before I saw the movie. I think the series is way better than the movie.
I think so.
You can only get so much of a storyline in a 2-hour movie, and that show just killed it.
You a Matthew Sorensen fan?
Huge Matthew Saracen fan.
I knew you would be.
Oh,
he was
rocks.
so good. He was so good.
He was awesome.
He was so good.
No one beats Tim Riggins, though.
Tim Riggins was something else.
Tim Riggins is the man.
He was a guy that really, like, kind of looked out for a lot of the other people in the show. I mean, he had a couple issues in season 1, but he redeemed himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tim Riggins did just fine.
He did just fine. Tim Riggins was what, like a fullback running back? He was sort of like a hybrid. I guess he was sort of like the Booby Miles of the show. Not like as good, but he was interesting. Alrighty, so Bob says you guys are too young to remember White Shadow. I have no idea what White Shadow is,
Not
Bob.
familiar with that one, Bob. I'm sorry.
Look at this. I'm getting much better at opening the minis. I don't even know what I was doing the last time around. Here's a good one. Not Barry Sanders, but a very good running back. This running back did something I believe Barry Sanders never did.
Oh.
Barry Sanders never rushed for, hi Donnie, never rushed for 2,000 yards. Jamal Lewis
Gentlemen,
There we go.
did rush for 2,000 yards.
That he did.
Headliner Jamal Lewis,
Let's
2,000-yard rusher, Super Bowl champ, one of the best running backs of the early 2000s. AFC North, Michael, nice hits.
And that is not a headliner in this series. He was a headliner in one of our previous series. But
Sure.
Not, so a little hidden headliner
it's a
there.
headliner to me.
Headliner to
He's a
Don.
headliner to Donnie.
It's a Madden legend. NFL Street legend.
He was something.
He was. He was very good in
Really
NFL
good NFL
Street.
Are you kidding me?
He was a baller. Oh, I loved that game so much.
It's.
That was like one of the cornerstones of my
You
childhood.
still have it?
I do.
Do you still play it?
Sometimes.
Really?
You
Sometimes.
free tonight?
You guys are playing. They're playing tonight.
It's Survivor Night, Don. Not free tonight.
Donnie, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Get your quick stance on this.
Yeah.
What do you think about people liking athletes and going to like the next team they're on? Like I said, I'm a Peyton Manning fan. I like Peyton Manning on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Then I like, or rather the Colts, and then I liked him on the Broncos also. Are you pro this, anti this?
Well, I like a lot more individuals than teams.
That's how I am, too.
Legitimately,
Sure.
like I'm a Bears fan, but my favorite player is Alvin Kamara. You know what I mean?
I thought you were a Colts fan, Don.
Well, I also like the Colts and the Chargers and the Jags.
Exactly.
And the Chiefs.
Don't sleep on those pesky
And the Bucks,
Texans.
of course.
Hey.
And the Bills.
Go Ravens. No, I
Go
don't like- I don't
Ravens.
like the
Go
good teams.
Browns.
Hey, but I don't like the good teams. I told you this.
Guys,
I'll never cheer for the Bills.
a sports fan has every right to do what they want as a sports fan. That's what's the
But that
beauty of
also
sports.
gives
As long as they
gives
don't
the
do anything
fans the
illegal,
right to
right?
hate the fans for their allegiances.
Sure, that's true.
As long as
It's
they don't do anything illegal.
yeah, nothing illegal, guys. Nothing illegal.
Go Raiders.
Oh, Donnie. He's a funny guy, huh?
You know, that sounds like a great movie. Charles, by the way, Charles, are you happy with your Blankenship hit? Not bad, Charles. Not bad. Yeah, what I love about the UA Live Break Room, Dave, is there's so many movies that I just learn about just
Yeah.
from being in here. I have a list of movies that I need to watch, a running list.
Yeah. Me too. I always get movies that everyone's mentioning that are just must watch. I've never seen them. Never seen them.
It's with Ben Affleck is in it and Ken Howard.
Oh, it's a new movie coming out, right? I just saw a trailer for it. Peyton fan here, but when he went to the Broncos, I was still a Colts fan and Peyton fan.
Right. And Katrina, that makes sense. But let me ask you this. When Peyton Manning was in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, who were you cheering for? I bet you were cheering for the Broncos to win that game. Because if you're a fan of the player and he goes on another team and they go 6-10, obviously the player didn't have a great season.
I believe the Ben Affleck movie that we're talking about is The Way Back.
I think I saw that movie. I think they might be talking about a different one. I'm not sure, but I actually did see The Way Back.
You did?
I did. It was actually... Here's a fun fact
Recently?
for you, Dave. Yes. So I believe that was the last movie I saw before we went to COVID shutdown. Because I believe this was a 2020 movie.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge movie buff. It's something I like to do in my free time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hit up the movies once a week. So if there was anything in theaters, I pretty much saw it.
Yeah.
And that was the last movie I saw before we went in the COVID lockdown.
Shut down.
So it was a good one.
There you go.
I think Legit Fantasy Sports is maybe sending a link to the movie. I'm not going to click it for now just to be safe, but that I don't know if that's a link to the movie, but yeah, there's a lot of great movies that we learn about in the UA Live break room. I'm excited.
Learn something new every day.
Any Super Bowl, I pick a team I want to win over the other. Doesn't mean I'm an actual fan of theirs, LOL, says Katrina. That's fair. That's fair. The last 2 Super Bowls I've been heavily invested with the Chiefs winning. What was the Super Bowl before the Chiefs year? Oh, the Patriots and Rams. I guess I wasn't invested in that one, and that was a boring Super Bowl.
Did we finish up those minis today?
We did.
We did.
Gonna
We
get
finished
a
up the
new
minis.
Mini-series post for tonight?
Bang,
If
bang.
you guys like Black Box minis, we'll have a new series tonight.
Let's
Old
go.
news, Donnie. We've been talking about that thing for an hour.
Guys,
Got it!
we are actually 6 slots left in Flex on them number 2, so if you want to flex,
What about our chase
hop
of the
on
day?
in. Chase of the
Our
day is
wheel
Wheel of
Winnings is
Winning.
wide open with 10 spots.
What was the first flex on him hit?
The first Flex on him hit was, let's go back and take a look.
Was that
Our own
Cortland?
Zach
it might have been.
Mooneyham.
That may have been like the one up. Oh, it was Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton to James Capel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Katrina says, just like every time the Patriots were in the Super Bowl, I wanted the other team to win. LOL. Katrina, I 100% agree with you. I was cheering against the Patriots every Super Bowl. They broke my heart, actually, in, I think, what was it? The first Super Bowl they won. First, they beat the Raiders, and then they beat the Rams, which were my 2 favorite teams besides the Bears at the time, because I like Kurt Warner and Rich Gannon. So, and then the Colts, obviously, as well, with Peyton Manning. So, yeah,
Donnie,
I was not a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
you asked me a
here.
question earlier,
Yeah.
and you never gave me your side of it.
Yeah.
You asked me who the most overrated player in the NFL is today.
Simple answer. Well, there's a few, but
Okay.
the one that comes to my mind immediately is Odell Beckham Jr.
Wow, it was?
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Wow, that was the first one that I said.
Yeah.
I agree.
Odell Beckham Jr. probably the most overrated player in the NFL right now.
Right now.
Right now, as a Odell Beckham Fantasy Jr., Odell
Fantasy
Beckham
Junior.
Jr. fantasy owner, I could not agree more. I think Odell Beckham was phenomenal about 3 years ago, but the injuries have caught up to him. He is no longer the man he used to be. I think he's sort of like the Carson Wentz of receivers, in my opinion. Would you guys agree with that?
I think that's an insult to OBJ.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
probably
That is an insult
No,
to
it is.
Odell, for
He's
sure.
a little bit better than that, but it's
At no point was anybody ever in Carson Wentz's career saying that he was the best quarterback in the league.
Well, he was an MVP candidate for 1 year.
But for like 3 weeks. For 3 weeks of the last part of that season.
I think he would have won MVP if he didn't get hurt, and then Nick Foles stepped in and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So-
I think, honestly, deep cut here, I think that Nick Foles winning that Super Bowl hurts the stock of that season for Carson Wentz.
Absolutely.
I
Because
think
it
the
shows
fact that
how good
somebody-
the team was.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Anybody could have just stepped in there, and Nick Foles has proven that he
Nick-
cannot just step into any situation and take over.
Nick Foles is very, very streaky, though. Even when he was on the
That's
Bears,
true.
he had 1 or 2 really good games where you're like, Nick Foles, the future. And then he goes back to reality. And he picked the right
Yeah.
time to be streaky in that Super Bowl run. But actually,
You're right.
he was on the Eagles earlier in his career, and I think he led the NFL in passer rating one season.
Did he really?
So,
Yeah, that's right, Dave.
I mean, Nick Foles is...
We're talking about Nick Foles, not Carson Wentz here, Don.
Yeah. Well, Carson Wentz
Listen
was
up.
Carson Wentz was probably up
Shut
there
the
that
hell
one
up,
season
Dave.
too. So I mean, I don't know. Nick Foles is one of those streak players. He's like J.R. Smith in basketball. J.R. Smith might get hot. He looks like the next coming of Stephen Curry. Then the next game, he's just bricking left and right.
Nick Foles did lead the league in,
I told
in
you.
QB in quarterback rating.
Yep.
He did only start 10 games that season.
Sure.
But he won 8-2.
Exactly. He was
Went
streaky.
8-2.
That was back when they had
Oh my
Michael
goodness.
Vick.
You know who else
He
is
had-
wildly overrated? Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, he is
He's-
perfectly rated as hot
Well,
garbage.
he's out for the season, so
He's
He's
overrated.
not
stinks.
much rating to have of Juju in the coming weeks.
He's
Nick
overrated.
Foles in 10 games. This is This is
That's
crazy.
That's what I'm referencing, Dave. I told you.
This is the only relevant season, though.
Sure, he's hot and cold.
He had 27 touchdowns
And
and
two
2
picks.
interceptions
Yep.
in 10 games started.
Incredible.
Who did?
Nick Foles, his second year in the league.
Get out of town.
3
I will
touchdowns
not.
a game.
That's crazy.
Nick
Who else
Foles, everybody.
Criminally overrated? Evan Ingram.
No,
Evan
disagree.
Ingram.
Well, it's because you just picked him up on fantasy.
Nope.
and wanted to
Is
do
he
it.
rated that high though?
I don't
He
think
was
he's
a Pro
rated that
Bowler 2
high.
years in a row.
I think he's an incredible athlete. I think the
Oh
Pro Bowl
my
was
God.
ridiculous. The Pro Bowl was absolutely ridiculous. I agree with that.
He dropped the most passes last year in the NFL for tight ends.
He's an incredible athlete.
Who cares?
I think that
Everybody
he,
in the NFL is an incredible athlete.
That's true.
If
That's
you make
true.
it to the NFL, you're an incredible athlete.
You
know-
know, but there are tiers within that.
You know who I think is the most overrated athlete among all of sports,
Oh,
not
wow.
just the NFL.
Um,
You guys should come to learn this because you guys don't know this about me. I'm an absolute hater of this player, and
What?
I don't
Give me a
hate
sport.
hardly anyone.
What sport are we?
Basketball.
I'm gonna guess you're gonna say Russell Westbrook.
Nicely done, Donnie.
Is it?
I am
Oh!
the ultimate Russell Westbrook hater. I'm one of those people who love statistics
Good
like
guess.
field goal percentage, assist to turnover ratio.
What a guess
And
by Donnie.
Westbrook had this thing where they would clear out like the space for him to get the rebounds on those triple teams, triple double seasons, and like, yeah, you can get 10 assists and you get 6 turnovers. You know, you scored 30 points, you put up 30 shots. Yeah,
In
it
a
happens.
All in a loss.
In a loss. Like he never delivered in the playoffs. He's not the type of guy you want as your lead player. Now he could be good with the Lakers if he understands his role as a clear number 3.
That's going to be a hard role for him to understand.
He's great as a number 3 if he listens, but he's just a turnover waiting to happen, a missed shot waiting to happen. He is like, when I think of stat patter, I think of Russell Westbrook.
I'm going to make a hot take here.
Sure.
I think that the Lakers are lucky to sneak into the playoffs this year.
That is a very hot take.
I know.
Dave.
I think
That is a
they
very
could
hot take.
absolutely make it. I think that they are going to have a much harder time than the preseason rankings are giving them.
I
I
will
think there
disagree, but there's potential to agree because of injuries. They're an
think-
old team. If they get banged up, they could be in trouble like they were last season, late in the season. But I think if LeBron and Davis stay healthy, they're going to be a beastly team. But that's a big if with the injuries.
So let me ask you a follow-up question here, Common. Is LeBron James a top 5 player in the NFL this season? Or excuse me, NBA.
NFL.
This season.
So here's what I need to see him on the court the first 10 games. Because I think people forget, last year before he got hurt, he was an MVP candidate. LeBron James was absolutely a top 5 player. But then he came back after the injury, didn't look as good. So what version of LeBron James are we going to see? Because if we see the LeBron James at the beginning of last year, he's absolutely a top 5 player. If we see LeBron James at the end of last year, maybe not. My gut feeling says I will say he is because of his understanding for the game, his passing ability, and all that he does. I'll probably put him. But the NBA is crazy because the gap between the first best player and the 8th best player in the NBA is very, very small.
It is.
So it's a hard question to answer.
That's fair.
Matthew Menard says LeBron and AD won't play more than 50 games, and he'll have to be number 1. It's possible. And in
That's
that
also
scenario,
true.
Dave's point could come true. But I just think that
I think
They're
LeBron's
winners.
best days are behind him. I think LeBron's best days are
he's
well
older.
behind him. I know.
And
That's what
it's-
I'm saying.
I might agree with that.
It's a young man's game.
But I think even LeBron James at 90% to me, or 80%, still probably right in that range for top 5 player in the league.
His basketball IQ is the only thing holding him up there.
Sure.
I think.
And he can still pass the ball, but
Yep.
we'll see. Like 2 years ago, I think he had like one of the most dunks in the NBA, the most of his career. So recently, within the last couple of years, he was very athletic. We'll see how he looks this season. Bob says, how about Kyrie putting his team in trouble because he wants his freedom? Kyrie got shots for polio, smallpox, MRM, chickenpox, and others, but he's willing to sacrifice his team and money for his freedom. Yeah, I probably agree with you, Bob. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see what Kevin Durant and James Harden say to him because the Nets have said that he's not going to play if he's not a full participant. Matt Menard says Westbrook has the most triple-doubles in NBA history. He's a good player. I didn't say Westbrook's not a good player, but I didn't think he deserved MVP. I don't think he's a top 5 level player. I mean, he's a good player. When people say you're overrated, you're big enough of a name to be legitimate.
Hey, Katrina, do you want to give me a box number for that personal Monday Night Crew, and we can get that open for you?
Did she do another one?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Let's go, Katrina. Even Oscar needed Kareem to get a championship. Yeah, Matt Menard, it's a team game. No one wins a championship alone. Michael Jordan was losing in the first round of the NBA playoffs before Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen came there. And I'm a Michael Jordan fan. Katrina says 38. That actually might be in the other room, Dave, too. 38?
38. I got it.
38. Thank you, my friend.
I'll be back.
Katrina, keep them coming. Keep the personals coming. Give yourself the best chance possible for Mr. Peyton Manning. That, by the way, is another reason why I think Peyton Manning didn't win as many rings as he could have. And the irony behind Peyton Manning is, think about this. Peyton Manning had his worst season ever, his last season with the Denver Broncos, and he won a Super Bowl. How about that? Send me my UA cash, laugh out loud, and I will. We'll get that UA cash sent right your way, Katrina. We will make sure to make that our priority after the show. Sending you the UA cash. As far as break spots go, guys, let's take a look at where we are on the website. 6 slots left in Flex on them. 7 spots left in the Fly Eagles Fly. That's a great Platinum Helmet series. I would love to get into that one today if we can do one break. Big Books has 7 slots left. Bad Moon Rising has 6 slots. And our Wheel of Winning, which is our chase of the day, is wide open. So we're going to go ahead and get to Katrina's personal here. Box 38. Could we have a Peyton Manning in here?
Let's find out.
I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. Not Peyton Manning, Katrina, but a very good quarterback. All-time great.
Nice.
He can pass it. He can run it.
Nice.
Randall Cunningham with the Philadelphia Eagles.
On the Lunar.
On the Lunar. And look at that green signature. So beautiful.
I love the paint pens when they do that.
Oh,
on
it's
the Lunars.
thing of beauty.
It just pops.
Randall Cunningham was sort of a quarterback before his time. I think I talked this with my friends yesterday. These days, the quarterbacks coming up, you got to be able to pass and run. They're built strong. They're built fast. Like, think of Kyler Murray. Think of Josh Allen. Even Herbert to an extent. Lamar Jackson, now that he's passing the ball. The quarterbacks these days are true dual threats. They're not quarterbacks who can run and then they also pass. They're quarterbacks who can run and pass. And Randall Cunningham was one of the originals of doing that.
And they don't have to be the team's leading rusher by any means, like Lamar Jackson, but
sure,
you got to be able to evade some pressure. You got to be able to be comfortable in a crowded pocket, even more so comfortable outside of the pocket.
Sure.
You got to be mobile. It's crazy. It pays.
Yeah, it's just how the game is evolved. It's the same deal in the NBA. All these guys can shoot now. In college, in NFL football, the quarterback tends to be your best athlete. It's very rare you see a pocket passer like Brady and Peyton Manning. I think a lot of the elite quarterbacks are guys that can do everything, quite frankly. And Randall Cunningham was one of the original guys that did that. So that's a very nice hit on your personal, Katrina. Keep going. Maybe the next one will be the quarterback you want.
Yeah, we're still hunting.
We're still hunting.
Hunting for Peyton.
We're hunting for Peyton. Eli's on there too, I think.
Yes, sir.
So, little brother action. I pulled an Eli Manning helmet the other day in here, and it's the first time I'd seen an Eli Manning in the ULI break room. Dave, you've got a lot more time here, but I believe Eli Manning doesn't sign that often, does he?
I have never seen an Eli Manning item come through our room. Yeah, he really doesn't. He does not. He's a busy guy, I think. And I think he kind of likes to keep to himself a little bit.
Sure.
A little bit more than Peyton does, at least. Because Peyton likes to be out there. He likes to be a man of the people.
Have you seen their Monday Night Football broadcast?
Definitely.
It's kind of interesting.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Katrina, another personal. If you
Let's
want to get
go.
a box number for that, we can get that one in there.
Let's go, Katrina. She wants Mr. Manning.
I don't blame her.
Guys, if you do want to hop in on that Monday Night Crew series, you guys see how hot it is with Katrina. That is posted as a single break right now on our website. Just $24. 7 slots remain in there. See if someone else can play with Katrina. Otherwise, she's going to keep going until she gets Peyton Manning.
Yes, sir. Let me know that box number, Katrina. I'll go grab it for you.
And we got the Fly Eagles Fly Platinum Helmet Series on our website.
Yeah.
What an incredible list of headliners. Jerome Bettis, Bo Jackson, O.J. Simpson, Randall Cunningham, who we just pulled on a mini, and Mike Singletary, Defensive Player of the Year. Actually, I'm sorry, that's a triple Bears helmet. Mike Singletary, Brian Urlacher, and Dick Butkus, 3 of the all-time great linebackers. That looks awesome.
Probably you can make a Mount Rushmore of those 3 and maybe one more, and that would be a pretty fitting list for those Bears. Box number 30 coming right up, Katrina.
Awesome.
Ooh, don't even have to leave
It's
the
in
room.
here. Perfect. Perfect.
There you are.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I think of Ray Lewis. I think of Lawrence Taylor's number 1, but you can make a case for the Bears having probably 3 of maybe the top 5, if not the top 5 for sure, 3 top 10 linebackers. I mean, Bob can probably tell us some other historical linebackers we're missing, but those guys on the Bears are pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy when you put it like that. 3 of the top 10, I think you could comfortably put them up in there.
You know what I like,
Crazy.
Dave?
What do you like?
I like good transitions.
Nice.
We're talking about some of the best linebackers of all time. How about the best?
There we
Lawrence
go.
Taylor!
All right.
Look at that.
There we go. It's not Peyton, but you'll take that one, Katrina.
That's not
a
bad.
sweet
It's got the
hit.
Colts colors.
Lunar. There
Lunar. Wow.
we go.
That's a great hit.
Yeah, he is the best to ever do that.
He was.
I don't think there's a question there.
NFL players are tough. It's very rare that NFL players are scared of other players. I legitimately think every person in the NFL was scared of Lawrence Taylor.
100%.
That's how beastly this guy was.
Yeah.
He was really, really good. Katrina, guess what? You keep getting better and better hits. Frank Gore, Randall Cunningham, Lawrence Taylor. Could we be leading up to a Peyton Manning? Things just keep getting better and better. Matthew Menard says, on a mission. Yeah, she is on a mission. Wow, Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor is a guy that does sign a lot. I've seen a lot of him in our break room, but that's one of those guys that you just never ever get sick of, Dave.
Truly.
It's just...
Played his entire career with the Giants. Love that out of him.
Bob is probably a huge Lawrence Taylor fan. Bob is a
So?
Giants fan. That might be one of
How
his
could he not be?
all-time favorite players.
It's got to be up there.
Katrina says, Nick is watching, I'm grounded. Uh-oh. Maybe Nick can take over the cash flow. Maybe he'll bring better luck for the Perrine family.
Katrina, I won't tell on you if you don't.
That's right. Here's what you guys need to do. Maybe you need to pick, have the kids pick the numbers. I think there's one time where you guys had I think your son picked the number and it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the issue is the number picking. But
be.
I'll be honest, like Frank Gore, Randall Cunningham,
You got some nice hits
and
here,
Lawrence
Katrina.
Taylor. I know it's not the Colts, but Katrina, that's not bad.
It's about as good as it gets.
That's not bad. My sick kid just picked number 30. Okay, well, forget my strategy. Although Lawrence Taylor is not bad. I did want to ask the chat a question. I'll open it up to you guys since no one commented. Who do you guys think are some of the most overrated athletes, whether in football or other sports? Just who do you think of as overrated?
Let's go current. I
Current.
like the current
We'll
conversation.
go current. We'll keep things current.
Yeah, I think OBJ is probably up there.
He's up there.
I was telling Donnie though, I think that he did do enough in his early parts of the career where maybe not so much as overrated, but just not the player that he used to be.
Sure.
I really have a hard time after seeing what he did his first 3 years in the
He was
league.
just catching one-handed balls left and
Crazy.
right.
It's crazy.
It's
but
crazy.
He's just not that guy anymore.
No, but
not that guy.
injuries have to do with it. But that's what I think about though. Like, I don't know that he gets mentioned up there as much with those guys. You know.
And I think another sticky widget with him is the second he got traded to the Browns, he became kind of the player he is today. Is it more of a system thing? Is it
Sure.
more of a Baker and him don't have that connection? Like,
And
there's always that question mark because it happened immediately after he left.
I think it's a combination of little things, but I think the big thing is the injuries to me.
That's
But
probably true.
and you get older. Like these people are not superhuman, if we believe it. Nick says she needs to just watch the show, see who wins the Peyton, and try to trade for it. We have so much stuff for trade. Nick, what are some of the very best items you guys have that you're wanting to put up for trade? Maybe someone here has a Peyton Manning. I know last week we pulled a Peyton Manning slab card. I don't remember who
That
it
was
was,
sweet.
but that was legit. So
That was a cool one.
maybe throw out some of your items. Overrated. I'm trying to think who else is overrated these days. I mean, again, he's kind of making me eat my words. I felt that Lamar Jackson has been overrated because if you look at his total yards and his passing yards, I mean, like, again, very good player. I don't know that he's an MVP level player. Although if you look at the stats the year he won MVP, it was one of the weakest MVP season stats like ever. There was so many guys that like were not that deserving that season. So I think Russell Wilson probably was the second closest in stats. I think like there was only like 30 touchdown passes led the league, and these days we have guys putting up 40, 50 all the time. So Lamar would have been my answer as overrated because he didn't pass the ball well enough. But this last week, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Lamar is certainly starting to shut me up. Nick says, can't reveal that, it's secret. You're probably working things out with Chop. Chop's not in here. James isn't in here. Yeah, look up that season that Lamar Jackson won MVP. Like, relative,
At it.
like there wasn't that many amazing seasons. There's always great seasons.
I'm gonna have to give you a little pushback here, Common.
Okay.
As a quarterback, he had
Sure.
1,200 rushing yards.
Sure.
He had 43 total touchdowns.
Right.
6 interceptions.
Sure.
And 3,100 passing yards.
Right, and where like the 3,100 passing yards though was not even in the top like 15 in the league. And you add up his rush yards, I still don't know that he was even top 5 in total yards for quarterback.
4,300 yards is a heck of a lot of yards.
Yeah, but there's
13-2 record.
Sure.
I've got
Well, and for that season, like I said, that season, not that many people had great ears, but I don't think he's on that level of a Patrick Mahomes. I think Josh Allen right now is better than him. I think Kyler Murray probably better than him. So
that's fair.
he had one
He
of those.
led the league in quarterback rating.
yeah.
He led the league there.
Because
So
he didn't throw picks. He took care of the ball. They were a running team. They got him some red zone touchdowns. I think, like, quarterback stats can be deceiving if you get the red zone touchdowns. Like, I think the Ravens were on a crusade to get him the MVP. So they made sure, hey, Mark Andrews, get your touchdown in the red zone.
I think that was more of a necessity of everyone else that they had on that team.
Sure.
Like, they didn't really
Sure.
have a whole lot of playmakers. And they
Well,
looked to him, and he can
right.
do it all.
And he's a great player. And he's I think he's getting better, which is crazy because he's getting better at passing the ball right now.
I think it's crazy to even say like the former MVP is improving. I think that's just wild.
But that's how good the league is right now.
That's
If you
true.
look at-
That's a good point.
If you look at what the league has with, Lamar, they've got Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow. They've had so many incredible young quarterbacks
It's
in the
fun.
NFL. They're in such a good shape, the NFL is right now. And like I said, these days, all these quarterbacks pass and run the ball. Back in the day, like, it was pocket passers. And as good as Eli Manning was, as good as Phillip Rivers was, as good as Ben Roethlisberger was, some of the second-tier quarterbacks in the modern game are better than those guys. And now we have so many headliners. So
It's fun. It makes watching football
it's fun.
a lot of fun.
I will tell you this. So you said, 40 300 total yards that year. So, I mean, we had 6 guys who had more total yards than him.
That's fine.
At the quarterback position. So that's what I'm saying. He was very, very good, but it's not that he was so far ahead. I mean, one of those, of course, was famous Jameis, and he had 30 interceptions. So obviously he was better than him.
That's more of the...
So there's
different. He got those yards without the turnovers and on the ground. He was doing it all. Yeah, Matt, I think we are. Let me just double check those emails. I know we had a couple of emails back and forth. I believe we are. I'm working on getting all those things worked out. But yeah, let me check that email right after the show here, and I'll button up everything there.
Said Michael Walker hopping in with an order. Is that a personal, Dave?
That is.
Let's go. I think
that might be our...
Michael asked, is box 40 available for Monday Night Crew? Didn't we have Katrina?
I believe Katrina did box 40.
Yeah. So box 40 is not available, Michael. We do have the box numbers on there. 5, 19, 26, 28, and 29 are in the room.
You can also pick up to 50.
Yeah, Dave will hop in the other room.
With the exception of 38 and 40, Katrina took those.
42.
42? Be right back.
Katrina, I sincerely hope Michael gets himself an absolutely incredible hit, but not Peyton Manning. Matt, I think that sounds right. 30, 40, and 38. I think that sounds right as some of the numbers you guys picked. Because I think 30 was in the room. I think that was the last one you guys did. A lot of personals today, guys. We love to see it. If someone does want to hop in on a break, though, this would be the time now. And we still haven't filled up our Wheel of Winning. That's our chase item of the day. I would love to do a flex on them. Number 2, we got 6 slots left. Fly, Eagles, Fly. Platinum Helmet Series, 7 slots left. Dang, going against me. Laugh out, not right. Michael, I'm going for you. You know what, Michael? You pull the Peyton Manning. That's fine by me. I would prefer that you pull Jerry Rice, though. That sounds pretty cool. Emmitt Smith, that sounds great too. So yeah, you can still pull Emmitt Smith and Jerry Rice. I want everyone to be happy. We have not pulled it. I haven't seen it pulled, so I do believe that Emmitt Smith is still out here in the crowd. This could be Emmitt Smith right here, in fact.
Box number 42.
Box 42. Rice is gone, says Michael. Okay. So Jerry is gone. Okay. Dave, this has been a crazy show as far as transitions.
Okay.
It seems like every time we talk about like a great player at a certain position, another great player gets pulled. While we were in the other room, we were talking about Jerry Rice being pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Rice, one of the all-time great receivers, one of the all-time great modern receivers. Devontae Adams on a flash mini with the Green Bay Packers.
Let's go.
Devontae Adams.
Is that a hidden headliner there?
I think it is a hidden headliner there.
I don't think he was listed.
What a hit, Michael. Wow. That's pretty good.
Let's go.
We talked earlier that DeAndre Hopkins we felt was the best receiver in the game. I'd put Adams a close number 2 for me personally. Matt Menard says, all these even numbers make me sick, LOL. Matt, you know who likes to play the even numbers? James Capel.
He does.
He is all about the even numbers.
Yeah, I'd put, if I had to rank current wide receivers.
Sure, go for it.
DeAndre number 1.
Agreed.
Devontae number 2.
Sure.
My sleeper pick, DK number 3.
DK Metcalf.
I think DK is dominant.
Yeah, DK is incredible.
Just imagine if he was on a team with anybody but Tyler Lockett.
Sure,
like
that hurts him, absolutely.
He would be going crazy. Scored 2 touchdowns against Jalen Ramsey. I think that's incredible. That's probably one of his most impressive games of his career.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about how many great quarterbacks we have in the NFL. Well, how many great receivers do we have? I mean, the league has changed. We see these running backs get drafted. The best running backs are in the late first round or second round. I mean, it's a passing league. So who's getting drafted and who's succeeding out there? The receivers and the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's how football is now, and I love to see it. I'm a
It's-
fan of points and passing.
It's crazy how that affects fantasy too. Like
Sure.
you're looking at your team and you think you've got all these locks in for like you got like top 10 wide receivers, but I mean it could truly be any wide receiver any given week could pop off and have a career day. It's nuts.
Absolutely. You know who had a career week for me this last week? Well, maybe
Marquez
not.
Callaway.
No, and I don't know if it's career because he's had some great seasons and some great games, but Mike Williams did work for the
he's
Chargers.
been going nuts this year.
Yeah, my fantasy team has had its ups and downs, but the bright spot all season has definitely been Mike Williams. He is killing.
He's been absolutely crazy. I agree.
Matt Menard says, "We are aware of that, and he hits against me every time because of them," talking about his even numbers. Quadrina says, "We are taking all his even numbers." Alrighty, well we've got a little team action here. Quadrina and Matt teaming up, taking numbers, taking names. So yeah, it's this is a great series. It's really fun. I think we pulled Jerry Rice, we were just told, but a lot of these other names, as far as I know of, have not been pulled. And it's a wonderful series. It's a great series if you like quarterbacks. John Elway, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning.
I don't know a single collector that doesn't like quarterbacks. I'll tell you that much.
That's the quarterback is the most well-recognized player in sports,
Definitely.
without question. And in football, it's also like some of these guys, like you may not recognize them on the street because of the helmets, but the football players, everyone knows what your quarterback looks like. So,
all right, Common. Let me give you a little rundown here of where we
Let's
are
take a
at
look.
real quick as we're approaching our hour 15 mark here. We've got 7 spots left in the Monday Night Crew number 2, 6 spots left in the Flex on 'em number 2, 7 spots left in the Big Bucks, 6 spots left in our Bad Moon Rising. We're wide open on everything else with the exception of Fly Equals Fly has 7 spots left. So everything's wide open here. If we want to maybe do a last call, see if anyone wants to jump in on anything at the last minute, buzzer beaters out there, personals, we can keep going, but we have slowed out a little bit on the orders, so I figured I'd mention that last call there.
Yeah, we'll give you guys a few minutes here to hop in on a break if you'd like to, or hop in on a personal. In fact, if you want a personal, let us know right now before we get off the air, because the orders have been slow, but the personals have been coming in fast. So hop in the chat and reserve a personal if you want. Quadrina says, "Wonder if Nick is still watching." I wonder if he is.
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe.
Could be.
I love, like, one of my favorite things about the UA Live Break Room, Dave, is that all the families that we have in here,
It's
husband
fun, isn't
and
it?
wife, father and son. I know we've got brothers in here, cousins. It's fun. We love sharing this with you, and we love that you guys share this passion together as a family. And we're all sort of becoming a family. Like, I don't know you guys. I don't know what you look like, but I feel like Matt Menard and Quadrina, Michael, and all you guys are our buddies. We're friends. So, last call, guys, if you want to hop in on a personal or if you want to hop in on a break. We actually have not filled our chase, so no UA cash today.
No wheel today.
Unless someone wants to buy the 10 slots right now. Let's go.
If you bought all 10, you'd guarantee yourself a spin on the wheel.
It is incredible how when someone really wants something, they hop on all the spots. That Wheel of Winning, by the way, is only $30, and
$30 a spot, 10 spots.
The Monday Night Crew is only $24 a spot. Dave, real quickly before we call it a day and we give the people another couple minutes to see if they want something.
Yeah.
So I'll run through a couple of tough NFL games. I want to hear your picks, see if we agree.
All right.
So let's go with Chargers-Ravens. Who you got on the money line or the line? Ravens by 3.
It's a really hard one.
Matt Menard wants a personal, by the way.
He's already got her.
Awesome. 27.
I'll go grab that box in just 1 minute.
I'll let you think about it. So I'll ask you Chargers, Ravens, Donnie, Cardinals, Browns. What do we think of those two games? 27 in here?
Monday Night Crew?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27's in the room.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
See, that's such a tough one. Honestly, though, I've got a hard time not taking the Chargers as underdogs. You give the Chargers any points at all?
On the camera. Show off the seal.
Oh, the seal.
I take the Chargers there. They have been absolutely crazy. They've been too good to be an underdog. They've just been too good.
I think so too.
If that game would have been a pick'em, I probably would have taken the Ravens, I think.
The fact that the Chargers are on the road also doesn't scare me. They're undefeated on the road. They went into Arrowhead Stadium. They don't really have the home field advantage, so they're used to playing road-like games.
Yeah,
I know we're chasing a Peyton Manning. About as close to a Peyton Manning as you can get.
Oh?
We've got an Eli Manning
There we go.
on the Giants.
I love that.
Matt Menard.
Ooh, a little...
Donnie did not jinx it. I think this is a pretty nice hit, Mr. Eli Manning. And we were just talking about
Definitely.
this. Eli Manning does not sign very often.
Clean
Dave,
signature.
You've been here for 1 year. You said this is the first time you've seen an Eli Manning.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I've actually been here 1 month. I did see one a couple days ago, but not
that was
very
it?
many Eli Mannings. Yeah. Well, I saw a big one, a replica helmet, Eli.
Oh, cool.
But this is beautiful.
Is that kind of a throwback for those Giants? With the silver?
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, it's an amp. Even
It's
better.
an amp, yeah.
Let's go.
Matt,
Love
do
that.
you like that hit? Because Katrina likes it.
Yeah, that's a sweet hit, Matt.
That's not a bad hit.
Well done.
Not a bad
On
hit.
the buzzer beater personal, too.
That's how we do it in here. Let's see. Eli Manning. Yeah, Eli Manning is sort of like maybe a slightly better version of Frank Gore. For me, Eli Manning put up a lot of yards, a lot of consistency. So that's a great hit for us.
Great hit.
Dave, you're taking the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers also. We are going to call it a day.
We got one more personal here.
We got one more personal. We're not going to call it a day. People keep hopping in with the personals. I love this guy.
Cody, if you want to get us a box number for that personal, we can get that going for you.
Love
Let
to
us
hear it,
know,
Cody.
you let us know which box number you want, Cody. And I'll go scoop that up for
Cody
you.
Myers. This is the personal show. Things are getting personal here today. People love the personals. Well, you know what happens when you buy a personal?
Guaranteed dub.
Guaranteed dub.
Yes, sir.
And I think what we've come to learn about this series, Dave, already. Frank Gore, Eli Manning, Randall Cunningham, Lawrence Taylor. There are no bad things in
I was
here.
going to say, not a bad hit in there.
Not a bad hit in there. So it's either you're getting a great hit or you're getting a very, very good hit. 26, please. I think we have 26 here in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Things are getting easier. We've got all the numbers in the room recently.
All right.
26. Even number strategy? We've had a lot of odd numbers. Could the even number hit again?
Ready. I'll take it.
All right. Here you go.
And Matt, if you want to get us a number for that personal that you just got in on,
Let's go. We're on the chase. Here's a look at the box and the seal, guys. Box 26 for that personal Cody.
43.
I'm calling this 43. All right, Cody. Got a beautiful looking helmet right here. Percy Harvin with the Seahawks on the Eclipse Mini. Beautiful signature, number 11. One of the talented receivers, kick returners. This guy can do it all. Katrina, it goes up to 50. Donnie, I believe that's 50 on that series, right?
45.
45. It does go to 45. Actually, I could have just checked my box number, silly me. 26 of 45. So it does go up to 45, Katrina. So, Cody, nice hit. Percy Harvin.
And there's 43 for you.
Percy Harvin, I think, is one of those guys who was a very, very good player. If it weren't for injuries, I think he could have been even greater. But
He was really fun to watch.
There's few things greater than that Seahawks helmet. It just looks beautiful. Beautiful.
Love the colors.
That was Cody Myers with the hit. Man, we don't even have to random up divisions. You guys are making our life really easy here with these personals.
No complaints.
Percy Harvin. Alrighty. Get Percy Harvin in there. We'll see if we have Peyton Manning in here. Matt Menard, what are you chasing? Is there something you're chasing in here? I'm sure you'd be happy with the Peyton Manning, but I don't know if there's something else that you want. The other one was up to 50 and had 10 hidden ones up to 60. That was a fun one. That was certainly fun. Dave, what do you think? Can we have a Peyton Manning in here?
I hope so.
Is this the moment?
I hope so. I'm always down to pull some heat.
You know who doesn't hope it's the moment? Katrina. Matt says Peyton to make her mad. All right.
What do we got here, Common?
Well, we got box 43. Let's see what it is. There she goes. All right. This is the moment. Complete my pairing, says Matthew Menard.
The brothers.
Looking for the brothers. No brothers here.
No
But
brothers.
a pretty nice hit.
All right.
One of the most talented receivers in the NFL. A guy who's underachieved this season. But maybe it means the second half is going to be big things. A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans
He's just
on
fine.
the Lunar. Beautiful hit.
He's had some injury bugs this start of the season. He's an absolute stud. I think you're exactly right. He's going to eat the second half of the season.
I would know because I have him on my fantasy team, and he's been a little underwhelming. Whoa. Mechanical pencil.
When they want to run the ball 32 times a game with Derrick Henry,
There's no.
it is a little tough to get him the ball.
I got it, but yeah.
Just in case.
Sure. Thank you, Johnny. Guys, any other personals? Because we're really slow on all the other orders, but the personals keep coming. So if you want to get into personal, let us know right now. Otherwise, we are going to hop off here. Of course, all the breaks that didn't fill up, we will have a chance to have those tonight.
They all get carried over onto our night show tonight at 7 p.m. with
Mike and Steven.
Mike and Steven.
Mike and Steven.
There we go.
And we've got that posted as a single right now, but we're always game for doubles. If you guys want to do doubles on those tonight, just let us know. I'll do one more, says Matt. Give me a sec. 41.
All right.
All right, Matt. Keep them coming.
41.
If you want to do it, let us know in the chat here because it's like a weird time because our breaks aren't filling up, but the personals are flying fire. And sometimes it takes a second to process on our website. So if you want to do one before we call it goodbye, let us know.
All right, box number 41, Matthew, coming right up.
Personal. One more for Matt Menard. One more for anyone else.
Johnny.
41, baby.
Let's go. 41. This one is... there she goes.
And let's not open that one quite yet.
So we got another one?
No, we just need to make sure. All right, we're so I just had one from Cody come in. I'm not seeing one from Matt yet, so let's hold off on 41 from Matt. Cody, if you want to get us a box number, I'm gonna number 5. All right.
All right,
We
so
got
we'll
you,
set
Cody.
this
We'll do
one
Cody's
apart.
first.
And Matt's order just did come in,
Perfect.
I believe.
There's
Sorry,
Cody's
should be
5.
good now. We'll do the 5 here. We like to go in order. Cody's number came in first, Matt. So we'll do Cody first with number 5. As you guys see number 5 right there. Matt Menard, you're still going to keep your number.
Yes, sir.
Number 5. Here we go. I love these personals today. Okay. We got another quarterback.
Nice.
Drum roll. Let's go! Is it Peyton Manning, though? It's not Peyton Manning. It is Daniel Jones. You know, Daniel Jones is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. If he puts it all together and he gets himself a healthy team, this is a guy who could be good for years to come.
Definitely.
So this may not look like a great hit right now, but in a couple years you might be here sitting smiling and saying, hey, remember when I pulled the Daniel Jones in the UA Live break room, because that could happen. Cody Myers, nice hit, buddy.
I think the Giants like him. I think they are probably going to commit to him here. He's getting towards the end of his rookie deal. Is that right? I'm thinking they're probably going to commit to him for a couple more years.
15.
15?
Get him a nice, healthy team.
Get himself that Patrick Mahomes.
Maybe beef up that offensive line. He's a good player.
Headliner in the last one. Says
He's got
Matt
some
Menard.
wheels.
Yeah, he had the fastest run in the NFL last season.
That's crazy.
Who would have thought that Daniel Jones would have the fastest run in the National Football League? He just got to stay on his feet. When he stays on his feet, no one catches Daniel Jones. Out of Duke, too. A quarterback out of Duke. How often do you see that?
Not often.
Not often. He wears my favorite number 8. So that'll bring him good luck. Stickers at the bottom there, Johnny. All right. Box 41, Matt Menard.
Here you go, Matt.
Daniel Jones signed a 15-year, $8 million deal with the Giants.
I think you're joking.
Yeah.
All right. We're not that gullible, Donnie. That's crazy. All right, here we go. Matt Menard. Okay. This guy plays in the same division as Peyton Manning. Or played. How about Eddie George?
Nice.
I'll flip that around. He signed up top here. Eddie George, one of the all-time great running backs. I think Eddie George, correct me if I'm wrong, was the first athlete to be on the Madden cover that was not John Madden.
You are not correct.
Not correct. Okay.
You know who it was? Can I tell you?
Yeah, go
Tell
for
us.
it, Don.
Hurst.
There
Garrison
it is.
Hurst.
Garrison
Okay.
Hurst.
But he was in 2001. Garrison Hurst was 98,
99.
99.
And it was only the
Okay.
PlayStation 2 variation. He was not on... No, I think it was... No, it was PlayStation 2. When they came in those... It was like it was for the PC disc cases, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
So it was only the PlayStation 2 variation, Garrison Hurst. But you are correct. After that, it was Eddie George on all variations.
That is the first video game I ever owned. Madden 01 along with Formula 1. I guess I wanted that car racing game for good old PS1 at the time.
Love it.
So the first video game I played was Mario Kart. My cousins had Mario Kart, but I had PlayStation, not Nintendo. So the first video game I purchased was Madden 2001.
I'll end the show here with a hot take on video games.
Okay.
Throwback.
Sure.
Diddy Kong Racing is far superior to Mario Kart on the N64.
That is a hot take.
You're high.
I think you're wrong.
It's not even close, also. It's not even close.
Cody Myers says, what happens to the breaks that didn't sell out during the show? I have a few spots out there still. Cody, I'll answer that question for you. It's very simple. They get carried over to our next show, which is tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time here in the Chicagoland area. If for some reason they don't fill up tonight, which I think they will, then they get carried over to the noon show the following day.
Yep.
So if you're in on a break, that break will get done, whether it's the next show, the next day, or a few days later. We had a new customer the other day, hopped in on Big Bucks, which for whatever reason is not one of our most popular series. Took about 3 days to get the Big Bucks on there, and he wasn't there in the chat. I was heartbroken. But Cody says, perfect, thanks. How many are left total, says Katrina. Dave, I think
we got a good chunk left.
We got
to be
a lot.
honest.
I
We
want to
probably
say
got at least.
We got at least 25 of the 45. I
bet it's around 20.
Yeah.
I know we have at least 10 over there in the back room. We've got maybe 10 over here.
Well, it's out of 45.
There's a good chunk left.
And we just started this tonight, right?
Or
today, 3, 4.
Monday night. We started Monday night.
We started Monday night, so we're probably about halfway there, Katrina. So Peyton Manning is still out there.
Yes, sir.
Still out there. Any other personals, guys? Last calls for personals. Someone want to get another personal in? No personals. If you do want more personals, hop in tonight. We will call it a day. Dave, thank you for the wonderful producing. Thank you to all our customers for playing. We'll be back here tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time.